Sorry, I'm late. I was too busy editing the video and I forgot to record it. So yeah, I'm back. So hi pals. I'm back to talk about another Marvel Legends toy review, and this one is kind of a special one for me. I know I've talked about Howard the Duck, I've talked about Daredevil, I've talked about Gore the God Butcher. But yeah, those are all some of my favorite Marvel characters. I gotta admit. But another hidden favorite of mine and a favorite of a other pal on the show, Sean Bartley, is Robert Reynolds himself, the Sentry. So guys, I am a Sentry fan. There's a reason why he's in the stream starting soon and the intro little clip that we have on the show. I'm a big fan. He is essentially Marvel's Superman in a way. I know that that's really kind of diminishing what he is as a character. It's a lot more than that. I believe it was a Paul Jenkins creation, and I can look that up, and I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. But it was a Paul Jenkins creation, and it was his character that's kind of always existed in the Marvel universe, but he was kind of forgotten about. I think they kind of pulled something similar with I think it was like Blue Marvel or something like that. But anyway, Robert Reynolds has all these superpowers. He's like super strong like Superman. He doesn't have laser eyes or anything like that, but he has super strength and flight. Very he fits that archetype very well. But he's got a messed up brain because he has the pretty much the antithesis of himself in it, which is the void. So it's this constant battle between this really surprisingly frail character in the Sentry, um, but he has to fight probably one of the most powerful entities in the world with the Void. And it's a lot of fun. It leads to a lot of fun stuff. I think at the Dark Avengers run by Bendis, Mighty Avengers is where we really see more of the Sentry. There's a more recent Jeff Lemire Kim Jacinto run, which I will point to because I'm going to put a graphic there of that. Definitely check that out. It's very it turns Marvel's Superman into Marvel's Miracle Man, which is kind of funny because Marvel has Miracle Man. So, but it's really good. It's really good looking. If you play Marvel Snap, there's like Kim Jacinto variants that are really good. So that kind of art style is what you're expecting. Super fun. But let's tear into this. I feel like I should literally rip this apart, like Ares, or well, more like how Null did it to Sentry in King in Black. But let's check this out. Here we go. We have double the Sentry right now. So yeah, this is the Walgreens exclusive Marvel Legends Sentry, which if Walgreens exclusive gives you a nice little cringe, yeah, I get it. I get it. These guys are like almost impossible to find in the store, and if they're on sale online, you better be quick. Um, Love them or hate them, the Walgreens exclusives are a little tricky. I was lucky enough to actually find this one in the store. The one left. I was randomly going to get I think like a ginger ale or some beer or something, and I saw him and I had to grab him. Plus, he was on sale, so he was like 14, I think, on sale, and I have like $10 Walgreens. So like, this is where the love part of the Walgreens stuff is in because I got him for like $3, which is insane. Especially for one of my favorite Marvel characters. I was more than happy to get it at that price. But here he is. He's a lot thinner than the previous model. So I have the previous one here, which is this was the Allfather Odin wave, I believe. And he kind of trimmed down a bit. He's still ripped. He is hard to stand up, which is an issue, but got a little tack there. Maybe that'll help him. But yeah, this is the old one. The old one is very swole, I believe is the word they use. I'm just going to put him down for a second. If you look at him here, let me see if I can zoom in a bit here. He is just ripped, and he's like really thick too, which is weird. The one thing I really hated about this one is he's kind of almost got like a Liefeld-esque chest going on here, where it's like just, my dude's got a bust on him. So I never really cared much for that. I think his belt is very championship wrestling belts, which I didn't really care much for either. His face is rough. I wonder if the lighting, I can get his face. Let's see if I can get his face going there. But yeah, he's not a pretty dude. For a guy that's supposed to look like Fabio, he's not. He's not. He looks looks like he got some rhinoplasty going on, honestly. What's that Twitter meme going around? I don't know. But this is him. And the one thing I really hated about Marvel Legends at this time was the cape. It was just a peg that went right in his back. Yeah, the capes never really felt right to me. So having an updated Sentry, much needed. All right, so here he is by himself. So we have 3 accessories that come with this. 2 trigger hands, which I don't understand the point of that. That just seems kind of useless for a Sentry. Don't get me wrong. It'd be cool to see him wield a gun or something, but I can't tell you a story where that's happened. And then we have this Void, I guess you would call it, the Void face here, which is cool. It's got a flaming skull with, like melted skin on it, and the hair in the back. Almost looks like a Ghost Rider accessory, really, which I guess works. There have been multiple times in the comics where Sentry's gone a little off the deep end and ripped his face off. Almost like the guy in Poltergeist. He just I think it was like in Uncanny Avengers with Dark, I guess Apocalypse's Horseman Sentry, where he does that. Spoiler for Uncanny Avengers, but really good book. You should check that out. But then him, he's just by himself here. So I like him. He's not as big as the previous one, like I showed you here. He's a little more trimmed. I guess the yellow on him isn't the only Twinkie thing about him. But the yellow actually works. I think this is a much more comics accurate Sentry, especially in the his first appearance in that miniseries by Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee. This is much more accurate. It feels like a comic book. It feels like that color. I think I've seen this color previously. I think it was the Wolverine Hot Claws, where he had this almost neon yellow. Did not look good. Was not a fan of that, but it works here. And I like how the belt is a lot more simple. They really kept to just doing the belt with the S logo there, which works. His cape is actually one piece.
The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
Which is great. It's on him, so you can't really swap the cape out without really, messing up your figure or, modding it. But it's on there good compared to the old one, which, fell off every time you would move him around. His face is much better. I mean, I've been praising the Hasbro faces here. Much more stoic. It kind of looks like Vulcan's face from the most recent, what was it? The Bonebreaker wave. But I think it works good here. The hair is a little much. I'm not the biggest fan of the hair. I like things to have a static option that's a little more display worthy, and then an action one, which this one would work for that. But instead we have this other action head. So a very neutral hairstyle doesn't really fit for him. But at least it's not the retro Sue Storm. So, it could be worse. His hair kind of just reminds me of I believe it was it Con Air with Nicolas Cage, where his hair is just blowing in the wind. It's kind of the thing that's going on here. Which, now that I said it, Nick Cage reference, I might be more into it than I thought. But yeah, he's got the ab crunch there. The hip swivel kind of is hidden beneath the belt, which is good. Double joint on the elbow, so a lot more modern of a figure. I dig it. It's nothing special, but I think it's a pretty solid figure all around. Oh, shoot. Sorry. I was editing the show or this episode. Anyway, Sentry. Here he is. I think he's okay. Definitely improvement from the original Sentry, which I showed you as a comparison. But he's a little thinner than I expected. Not as much of a heavyweight as you expect Robert Reynolds to be, especially if you're a fan of the comics. The hair in a kind of a static yet airy, windswept kind of thing is not really my jam. I like a little more of a neutral look. But I think the color scheme is much more comics accurate, even though it's a little almost neon. And the extra accessories of the hands and the head that it comes with is super cool. The actual cape, much better than the clip-on cape previously. So there are a lot of upgrades here. But he's hard to get because it's Walgreens and it's just weird to get exclusives there. There are some downsides, but I think a solid figure. I would give this one probably like a 3 out of 5. A 3 out of 5 voids. I don't know how I'm going to represent that on the screen. But yeah, that's Sentry. If you guys like what I'm doing, if you guys like what I'm editing, and that's what I was doing here. I was definitely just editing a video. If you like it, just subscribe. Give me a like. Put a little note and a comment at the bottom there. But I appreciate it. So if you can check us out on our normal shows, that's Palace Bowls. Comes out on YouTube every streams live on YouTube actually every Thursday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday mornings we do the Comics Pals podcast, which is more of a comic book news, comics, movies, TV shows, sometimes games, a lot more of that. Check us out there. Tell your friends, tell your grandma. Yeah. Spread it around. Follow us on TikTok. Do all that. I really appreciate it. If you guys want me to review any specific toys, let me know. Let's keep it Marvel Legends. Maybe DC Universe. I have something I need to unbox. But yeah, until next time, we'll see you next toy review. Bye. Oh shoot! I have to record the intro to the show. Oh damn it! All right. Bye. I gotta go.